Okay. Hello, Chris friends. Good stuff. It was interesting that we decided on stock. You know, I kind of decided for you, and then you said, "Oh yeah, absolutely stock." Well, looky here. There's stock right there. That's Tango Red. That's so that's what was originally on the boat was Tango Red because they wouldn't have used anything else. And then put anything else. They would have used the scraps in these holes from what they were putting on the boat, and that is Tango Red in there. It's old and dirty and nasty, but it was Tango Red. Okay, so the engine. We were talking about the engine. I wanted to show you. This is where the bent rocker arm is. I think we've got a picture of that, and you can see. Bent push rod, and you can see I push this rocker arm back. This valve is not moving, and this valve is open. It's stuck open. So, I'd sure like to know why it looks like a valve job has just been done on this engine, and I'd like to know why. First of all, why do we not have if a valve job was just done on the engine? Why is this guy stuck in a valve guide? Number two. As you can see, this oil distribution line sure looks homemade, and it's curious as to why we don't have any oil in this head. It looks like it just came out of the machine shop. So some things that concern me on that side of the engine, and then we go to the other side of the engine, and we got some more things that concern me. We've got the same homemade looking oil distribution line with the exception of the oil distribution line doesn't go a lot to the last rocker arm. So you kind of have something that makes you go, what's going on there? And then get a load of this hose right here going this oil line. It's kinked. So oil's not going to go. Curiously, I've got oil in this head, and the sludge is full of metal. So that's this gray metal reminds. I'm trying to show you. This gray metal reminds me of bearing material. So I don't think we even need to run this. I think we need to go ahead and pull it out. I think we need to pull it out and before we run it, and have the heads gone through. Also, we'll measure the cylinders. We can determine. This probably isn't going to be a full-blown. What I'm trying to say is shouldn't necessarily be a full-blown rebuild. It should maybe disassemble, clean, inspect, put it back together. As far as the lower end of the engine goes, we do have a little more work to do, I think, on the heads. But the heads aren't expensive to have done anyway. I got your note about the transmission. We can go ahead and probably inspect the transmission. There's basically it's just a clutch for forward, and it's a reverse gear. A planetary gear for reverse, and there is a hydraulic. This is hydraulically operated. There is a gear pump installed in this. So I think if we look at the condition of the hydraulic pump, and there are two pistons. One piston that engages a brake ram around the planetary gear and gives you reverse, and another piston that clamps the clutch pack together and gives you forward. If we look at those and we look at the clutch material, we can tell a whole lot about the transmission. So I think we ought to just go ahead and bite the bullet. I'm afraid to run it based on this crap. Not having oil on that side, not having an oil passageway to this rocker arm on this side. We had water coming out of this particular cylinder right here when we did the compression test. I had all the spark plugs out for that. And it shot water out of this cylinder. So all those things, so I'm kind of expecting that there's we did not find water in the oil, but I've got nothing to mix the oil right now, so it's possible that the water is at the bottom of the oil pan below the level of the dipstick, and so we can't detect it because it's not mixed up. Oil and water don't mix, but it's not, you don't have that foam that you normally have that looks like chocolate milk, because it's sat here and settled for so long that if it did have chocolate milk, it has settled long enough that the water's gone to the bottom, the oil's gone to the top, the dipstick's just not getting down to the water. That's my recommendation on this, and as long as you give me the go ahead, we'll get started on this first thing next week. Anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Hope to hear from you soon and get your approval on my idea on this, on doing a disassembly, a check, and a reassembly of the engine, with possibly a valve job, because obviously the valve job that was done wasn't done properly.